My name is Nataliya Gumenyuk. I'm a Ukrainian journalist specialized in conflict reporting and human rights. I'm a filmmaker and I've done 3 documentaries from the occupied Crimea. I'm an author of the book The Lost Islands, The Tales from Occupied Crimea. It's already 7 years since Russia annexed Crimea, and there were a lot of stories about so-called little green man, stories about security, but many people got used that nothing new is happening there. Yet 7 years after, I may say, the things are happening. First of all, for a year, due to the pandemic, Crimea is more or less shut down. People are allowed to get out of Crimea for not more than one time to the Ukrainian mainland. It made 100,000 families broken. It's almost impossible to get to Crimea also for the people who used to travel there with different reasons, even like to monitor the situation. There are 100 political prisoners, mainly Crimean Tatar, indigenous population of Crimea. And despite all the calls, all the demands to let them free, they are behind the bars in a very, very difficult time when, due to coronavirus, the situation in the prisons of Russia and prisons in Crimea is critical. Another story is the ecological disaster which we are watching unfolding, mainly because of the militarization and the industrialization of this resort and beautiful part of the land. Up to 500,000 of the people were brought from Russia, law enforcement, bureaucrats, yet that created a huge pressure to the big cities of Simferopol and Sevastopol. Their population is kind of doubling, so there are issues with water supplies, there are issues with draining of the lakes. This story tells us that any occupation has its long-lasting effects, but as well that during the time of any global crisis like the healthcare crisis we're living in, the things are becoming even worse for the population which is living in such a vulnerable place as the occupied peninsula.